My phone was acting up. This is part two of the so-called white man is a doctor, not a physician. So I'm starting from the article that starts, the paragraph that says scientists. It says scientists received huge grants to study how plants cure diseases, but their goal was to first identify which chemicals in the plant were effective and then recreate a similar chemical, but not identical in the lab that could be patented. So they took the knowledge of the Lord and they made a carbon copy to sell it for profit. Basically. So their goal was never to heal you or to treat you. It was to monopolize the market and make a profit off you. It says, and you thought Koch brothers were evil, so now it says, so now we are, 100 years later, churning out doctors who know nothing about the benefits of nutrition or herbs or any holistic practices. We have an entire society that is enslaved to corporation for its well-being. America spends 15% of its GDP on healthcare, which should be really called sick care. It is focused not on cure, but only on symptoms, thus creating repeat customers. There is no cure for cancer, diabetes, autism, asthma, or even flu, where there's no Western medicine cure. It says, why should there be real cures? This is a system founded by oligarchs and plutocrats, not by doctors. As for cancer, oh yeah, the American Cancer Society was founded by none other than Rockefeller in 1913. I'll finish the paragraph before I get two more scriptures. It says, in this month of breast cancer awareness, it is sad to see people being brainwashed about chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. That's for another blog post. But here is a quote from John D. Rockefeller that summarizes his New World Order vision for America. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. John D. Rockefeller created the General Education Board, GEB, in 1903 to dispense Rockefeller funds to education. Now, there you have it in a nutshell. So, when I read the paragraph, it says scientists receive huge grants to study how plants cure diseases, but their goal was to first identify which chemicals in the plant were effective and then recreate a similar chemical, but not identical in the lab that could be patented. So in a nutshell, this whole lesson was one scripture. It was one scripture. Let me pull it out real quick. Let's see, Salakia. Let me see. Job. That's a good one too. Is it 15? Hold on, it's a scripture in Job. Hold on. Shalaki about that. I'm kind of mad I don't know it. Oh, 13. Okay, this is Job 13 and 4. Let me see. I might start up a little. It says, okay, this is Job 13 and 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. And that's what we read in the whole article. They're forgers of lies. You see how they demonize those using real medicine. You see how he used he created a whole board to dispense funds for education, right? The General Education Board. But what did he say? I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. So that money is to further invest in different platforms that's going to further your agenda. You know, you give somebody a payoff here and there, you know. But anyway, y'all forgers of lies, y'all all physicians of no value. So let's look up, and it's all in your wordplay too. So we look up words. So let's look up the word doctor, because the scriptures don't say doctor. The scripture says physician. And it said you are a physician of no value. So what? It says doctor, circa 1300. I'm just going to get to the point. It says make to appear right. When you go down, it says make to, if you make something appear right, that don't mean that it's right. If you give somebody a pill that heals one of their symptoms, that don't mean that they are cured. If a plant has chemicals to cure disease and you mimic those properties 80%, 70%, then that's not effective, because that's what they was doing. They was mimicking the healing properties of natural medicines, and they wasn't making it identical. They was making it, about 70, a percentage somewhat like it, but not exactly like it, to make a profit on it. Just like somebody that's a Jew and somebody that's Jewish, the suffix ish meaning like or pertaining to, but not exactly. So it's like the cure. You might heal a symptom here and there, but you won't be you're not going to exactly be cured. So I'm gonna jump down and read doctor from right here. It says 1590s. Okay, to confer a degree on, from doctor, noun, meaning to treat medically, is from 1712. Sense of alter, because that's what they did. They altered nature. Disguise it as medicine. Falsify is for 1774. Related, doctoring. That's why you hear the terms, let me doctor it up a little bit. Or So now let's look up another term. Let's look up physician. It says physician, a healer, a medical practitioner. From Old French, physicien, physician, doctor, sage. Modern French, physicien means physicist. From physique, art of healing. From Latin, physica, natural science. Distinguished from surgeon. See, surgeons be cutting out and taking away, but a physician adds nature to restore you, because we made out of the earth. We made out of nature. All right. So dealing with the word natural, the word science means to know. So a physician knows and understands nature, knows and understands the property of nature, the properties of plants, how to apply them, etc. All right. And the scripture speaks on that. The scripture don't speak on, the only time the scripture speak on a doctor, when it speaks about the so-called white man being a physician of no value. Because a physician is supposed to heal you. If you claim to be a physician and you're not healing me, then you have no value. Therefore, you are a doctor. Therefore, you are the so-called white man, which everything he touch turns to rust. He got the anti-Midas touch. Those who don't know, the Midas touch is a representation, meaning everything you touch turn to gold. So mean it's good. You got the hot hand. But anything he touch dies. All right. So type in physician real quick. It's another book in the Apocrypha. All right, I get them. It says, the physician cut it off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. It said the physician cut it off a long disease. So the physician heals cancer. Ain't cancer a long disease that's been claiming the lives of the majority that have it? Okay, a physician cut off diabetes. Okay. All right. Sirach 38:1. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. Yeah, the Lord created him to understand what he understand about the properties of the earth, man. How to apply them. Because everything ain't about consuming it. You might have to mix something up, turn it to a paste, and put it on your body. Put it on the bruise. Put it on the swelling. You might have to eat something. You might have to change your diet. Sirach 38:3. Matter of fact, let me just read Sirach the 38th chapter. For of the I'll read one again. It says, Sirach, known as Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 1, says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which he may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. So yeah, respect these healers, these true natural healers, honor him. It says, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Ultimately, it comes from the Lord. It says, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Verse 4, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Natural, what's that, Kevin Trudeau? Natural cures they don't want you to know about. What was those? Cures, medicines, healing that comes from out of the earth. It says, and he that is wise will not abhor them. They use they media to demonize natural practice, even though natural practice is coming back in style in recent years, in the last, recent couple of decades. But nevertheless, it said, verse 5, was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? Yeah, that goes into Moses when the water came. The water was bitter and it was undrinkable. It says, and he hath given men skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such doeth he heal men and taketh away their pains. Of such doeth the apothecary make a confections, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. Yeah, I just gave an example of that. You might have to make a confection. You might have to make a concoction. Not no witch's brew, but you add a couple herbs together, depending on the combination and the application, it's a healing agent. Add some garlic, some horseradish, some seaweed or some kelp. And I don't know if that can help heal anything, but I know that those are some very healthy things that assist in healing things. But I don't know how to make the proper confection, but who do the apothecary do? The true physician do. And of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. It says, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. So yeah, ultimately healing comes from the Lord. But the Lord made these he made medicines out of the earth. And they'll heal you if he give his okay. The Lord gives his okay. He gives his sanction. If he sanctions it to heal you, But with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. All praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shalom.